What's up, world? Jeff here. Today, we are talking about how to scale your Instagram, even if you ain't got no Instagram. And actually, I'm going to get some data I can use to illustrate this. That's probably not all we'll end up talking about, though, because inevitably, we always get into some good craziness here. Appreciate everybody. I already see a bunch of people coming on Insta. I can't even keep up with all the names. Just appreciate everybody being here. If you're seeing this on Facebook, seeing this on YouTube, let me know. Yeah, I love a dialogue. I love to have conversations with people. What's up, Omaha, Nebraska? Appreciate you being here. So today we're talking about how to scale an Instagram channel from nothing. And like I said, we'll also get into some other goodness. So the current, I'm curious if anybody knows, do you know what the record for the fastest Instagram growth is? Anybody want to take a shot? I don't think anybody would guess. This is not an intuitive answer. And thank you for the likes. Thank you for the love. Christian, what's up, brother? Yeah, let the world know. Listen, I'm going to ask, you never get what you don't ask for. Let the world know that we are doing good things here. We are actually trying to help people in the world by making the world a better place, by telling people what is possible for their lives and helping them figure out how to make it happen. Yeah, we got a bunch of people guessing. So the record for the fastest Instagram channel growth is currently held by Sir David Attenborough, the famed naturalist, who's the voice of like the National Geographic specials and everything. He's 95 years old. He's been doing it for 60 years. And he hit 1 million followers in 4 hours and 44 minutes. The second fastest was probably a name we would be more likely to guess, which is Jennifer Aniston, who hit 1 million followers in 5 hours and 16 minutes. And that was about a year ago. I can claim no such rapid growth. I am at 27,000 followers, and I have been consistently posting for 2 years. So apparently, if you're not a famous naturalist and you're not a famous actress, it takes longer, takes more time. But the reality is, 27,000 followers, I'm happy with, and it's growing really fast now. So let's talk about it then. Like, you know, this is a nice thing for me to talk about because, like, I did it. I went through the grind of trying to put out constructive, value-driven, beneficial content to the world when nobody was watching, nobody was listening, nobody cared. And it was, so you could say in a nutshell, all it took was the ability to keep talking, to keep going, even when nobody was paying attention. And then from there, you just work on getting better and better and better and leveling up. And this is eventually what happens. You reach this tipping point. So this is the insights from my Instagram channel. Look at the growth. Look at the growth curve. Yesterday, I'll show this on Facebook and YouTube, and then I'll show this up here on Instagram. So yesterday, I had a net gain of 1,600 in one day. And yeah, Jeff, to your point, I've gone from like almost 20K to 27K followers in just a few weeks. So, but I spent a year trying to get to 3,000. And that year, even then, I was trying to shortcut and cheapen the process by paying a service to help me get followers. And all they did was end up setting me back and screwing me up. So the reality is I probably could have, hit the tipping point faster. But this isn't really a session about my Instagram growth now. This is a session about what it takes. And by the way, what it took for David Attenborough, 60 years ago to decide that he was going to be a naturalist, that he was going to start trying to go out to the world and help people discover and fall in love with the natural world, which 60 years ago in 1960, that was not a big thing. Like the environmental movement wasn't a big thing. And then even Jennifer Aniston, it's easy to go, oh, she got 1 million followers in 5 hours. She was just an undiscovered little actress, wannabe actress, hanging out in LA, went to a casting call for a show called Friends. Like that's the stuff that, it doesn't get a lot of airtime, doesn't get a lot of attention, but it's the difference between the people that we see that have the life that we think we want and us if we don't have the life that we think we want. It's all the grind time in obscurity, in anonymity, in frustration, in perhaps even criticism, an era of criticism and an atmosphere of people trying to tear us down or tell us we're not good enough or tell us we're not going to live out our dreams. And, now it's worse because when you start something, you have to push through all this hate online. I mean, theoretically, I assume when David Attenborough, I don't know his story, but when he started as a naturalist, he might have had a bunch of people telling him, who the hell cares? I don't want to see pictures of it. I don't want to see shows of animals. Play the newest Marilyn Monroe movie or whatever. Like, you have to push through. And my invitation is to everyone watching this to do the work, because what's so valuable about the work isn't the outcome. The outcome is actually the last thing. And you can't be rewarded now by something that's not going to happen until then. If I was obsessed only with having 1 million Instagram followers, then there'd be nothing rewarding yet about what I'm doing because it hasn't happened yet. Now, I am going to have that and I'm going to keep doing the work, but you've got to love what's happening to you every second of the journey. I'll come back to that, but you've just got to fall in love with who you're becoming. Every little thing that you push yourself to do is changing you in some small way that's going to show up later and pay some sort of dividend. And the harder and more frustrating and less rewarding that thing is immediately and superficially, the more valuable and developmentally essential it's going to be for you in the long run. I just don't know a better way to say it. And living in the world that we live in and getting the messages that I get and having the view that I have, I see so many people that are trying to make success easier instead of just learning to love how damn hard it is. Like, there's a sickness that you can contract on purpose in your mind where you can actually convince yourself and eventually come to believe and eventually come to truly love just how flippin' hard it is. And if we could do anything for the world, it would be fall in love with doing really hard stuff. So how do you do that? How do you fall in love with doing really hard stuff? Look, I'm not some super authority about every person's life or the total human condition. I can simply share for myself. I have had to teach myself to learn to do really, really hard stuff because 2 years ago, I had a mission, which was, I know how rewarding financially and in terms of lifestyle, building a business can be in the modern world when you really embrace that can be. I did it for 10 years and it changed my life, changed everything about my life. But 2 years ago, I was like, it's not enough for me to know this. I know it. I've learned it. I've lived it. I love it. I have a great life because of it, but it's not enough for me to know. What needs to happen now is to share it with the world. The whole world, if I have my way, the whole world is going to know what's possible in the modern world. I believe, I have it printed on my desk. I believe in a world, I have it on my vision statement right here, a world where an awesome life is achievable for anyone committed to excellence. I'll answer that question about the plaques. I appreciate the question. But that's my belief in this world. An awesome life is achievable for anyone committed to excellence. And then to foment and help people develop excellence, I said, I'm going to use entrepreneurial education because it can work twofold. It can actually teach people the skills that they need to go execute in order to create the business result that's going to get them the fuel for the life they want, like the resources and the money, right? But also, it's a context in which I can actually teach and guide and share passion, if nothing else, hopefully more than that, about excellence itself as an end, as a mandatory for an awesome life. I believe they're two sides of the same coin. And so it just created this little link. Like, I'm going to use entrepreneurial education. The mission is empowering people to achieve physical, personal, and professional excellence through entrepreneurial education. So I'm going to teach entrepreneurial education as a way to stoke the flames of excellence, because I choose to believe in a world where if people commit to excellence, they can have an awesome life. And it was this little chain in my mind that made sense. Entrepreneurial education, promote excellence, awesome life potential for everyone. But to take that message out to the world as a, unknown little guy like me, I have had to go through what could be described as like the fires of hell, based on the amount of criticism and negative feedback and hate and fear and insecurity and doubt and everything that I've had to overcome in order to get to this point now. And now at this point, it's like, yeah, there's momentum and there's validation and there's daily rewards and there's money and there's all this stuff that makes it a lot easier. But it was so hard. And I'm not saying that because I expect any sympathy or commiseration, because it's not something to commiserate about, because the fact that it was so hard through the process and through the training and through the realizations of what that really means has become what made it so great. It wouldn't have been great if it wasn't so hard. And by the way, on the flip side, they say nothing worthwhile is easy. That means nothing easy is worthwhile, right? If A does not equal B, B does not equal A. If worthwhile does not equal easy, then easy does not equal worthwhile, which means if it hadn't been so hard, it wouldn't have been great. If it hadn't been great, it wouldn't have been so hard. By the way, and you know what? It never stops. Check out the comments on my Instagram live right now. I've got a fuck you and I've got a shut up. And then I've got another yeah, fuck you from people I don't know. I've never met you. Here's the thing. Fuck me. Love on you. I love you because I see what's possible for your life. I see that it's possible for you to reach a place where you've experienced the good things in this world through a commitment to excellence, to cultivate a life and to change your environment in such a way that you won't want to come up to a stranger and say, fuck you. You'll want to come up to a stranger and say, love on you, man. What are you doing? Tell me about that. I support you. I wish you the best with it. This perspective, this attitude, it's not a function of people being bad. Somebody just said, you're gay. That's not even an insult. I don't happen to be a homosexual, but it's not an insult if I was. It's so funny. It's so funny. I know it's a fair question. Why are they watching? Here's the thing. It's not because people are bad. It's not because people have a dark heart or a damaged soul. I don't believe that about you. About the negative people. What I believe is that you haven't experienced the relationship between doing really intense hard work and forging a result in your life that sets you apart from the fray, that sets you apart from the common average experience of this world, which is always going to be kind of blah, kind of meh. And because you've never experienced that, you're stuck in a perspective that thinks those things don't exist. I promise, if you go out and do a really hard thing, go right now. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, go run a mile. Go outside right now and run a mile as fast as you can. Simply because it's hard. In any given moment, we can all choose to do a really hard thing. We can go run a mile as fast as we can. You'll be exhausted. You'll be wiped out. Halfway through it, you'll be telling yourself, I can't keep doing this. I can't maintain this. It's too hard. It's going to kill me. By the way, it's not. The 40% rule teaches us that when our body triggers a response, it says, I can't do this anymore, I can't keep this up, that you're actually only 40% of your capacity. You go do that and then experience the way you feel after, and you will have experienced the relationship between doing hard things and producing a feeling of satisfaction. And the next time you see somebody who's doing a hard thing, you won't want to tear them down. You'll appreciate it and you'll value it and you'll go, I want more of that experience in my life. I just realized, by the way, it's 4:30 my time, and I totally spaced until I just got my reminder. I'm supposed to be on a podcast right now. World, I'll catch you next time. I got to go. See ya.